Hello everybody, here's a little review of some another pretty famous Nikon microscope, Nikon smz-645. Also, this microscope is not much valuable so far. Its resolution is almost the same as of Nikon smz-745 and only 3% less than of Leica S6E. So technically, this microscope has very low cost so far, while having a lot of advantages over Olympus SZ61 base, Olympus SZ61 and Olympus SC4045. Okay, so let's look at its dimensions. Usual version has eyepieces inclined at 45 degrees, and if you see distance between a focal plane and eyepieces, it is like, let's say, 35 centimeters. And microscope itself is pretty short, especially comparing to Olympus rival and Nikon SMZ745, while it has more or less ceiling that allows us to be protected from the smoke, and exactly this version has replaced protective glass. It is replaced with proper filter, and this version has removed protective glass under eyepieces. So after those two changes, I've reached contrast to be much higher, and overall blue tint got less noticeable. Okay, as usual, this microscope has two eyepieces. Left eyepiece I use 10x eyepiece from Olympus, while right eyepiece is 20x eyepiece from Olympus 2. So technically left eyepiece has the same field stop as original Nikon's eyepieces, while right eyepieces is used to show you real resolution, because even if you're watching this video on 4K display, you won't see whole real resolution as your eyes see if you use only 10x eyepieces. So technically my 20x eyepieces will let you see real resolution close to the way your eyes do it. Okay, let's see what have I prepared for you today. Today I've used a metal ruler to see field of view and structure of metal. I've gotten two bolts here, M3 and M2. I've gotten some blade of what the firm is, some blade that is blunt a bit, blade from the cutter. I've got a $100 banknote. I've got the motherboard of iPhone, might be 6 or something like that. Intel I386 processor to see real resolution. Apple's A13 processor to see usual suspects, and some part of camera with a bit of sensor just to see what can we see there. Okay, so let's look what have we got. First of all, let's check real field of view. For this I have to put ruler in a frame, and now let's see what is field of view of this nice Nikon's microscope. in lowest magnification. It should be 27 and 5, and actually it is 27 with something. So now we have full field of view of this microscope, and now we can try to see field of view at maximum magnifications. In our case that is 50 times, and every division here is half of millimeter, so technically we have 1, 2, 3, 4, kind of 5 millimeter field of view and a maximum magnification. And now we can switch to 20x eyepiece just to see a real resolution on this ruler, and you may notice that while in the center we have sharp focus, left and right edges are fuzzy a bit as it should. It's usual situation with Greeno, but in case of Nikon 645, the same as for Leica S6E, we have very strong inclination of channels, so nice sharp focus is seen only for 45% of center, while left and right edges obviously fuzzy. Not that much as Leica's way, but still okay. Now let's switch back to our 10x eyepiece. Don't forget that to see real resolution you need to use your viewing device like TV or iPad or something like that at the mode at least 1440p, not full 4K, but at least close to it, because in usual HD mode you'll lose a lot of fine details this microscope offers us. Okay, let's get initially to the motherboard and let's walk over it for a while. Again, here's a real field of view. It's a bit of metal and plastic, and let's see these structures of copper and plastic at maximum magnification and real resolution here. I see. Now let's back to the usual moderate magnification, and let's go to pieces of motherboard we've already seen on other reviews of different microscopes. So here's SIM card space, and you can just see metal structure here, a copper structure, and some aluminum. Okay, not that interesting, I guess, so let's go to this little place with two empty pins that I show you on every review of microscopes. So it is this. You can see that here's much less chromatic aberration comparing to Leica S6E, while the resolution is pretty close. Okay, now let's go to other place. Let's see those parts, and you can notice pretty shallow field of view, as it should, because the bigger resolution is, the shallow depth of field goes. In our case, this microscope is more or less resolving. So let's just walk over the surface here. Okay, what else have we got here? Nothing interesting except those two colorful parts. If you compare it with Leica's S6E pictures, you will notice much clearer view, because not much chromatic aberration here. Okay, let's go to the banknote now. And have we gotten here? We have gotten nice eye. Same structure with magnification. There's a micro print. You can see a lot of lenses here. This is some glittering material, kind of glass, that creates nice reflections. And as you can easily notice, this paint is not printed in usual way, it's more likely pressed, and a lot of paint got dried, so all those paint are getting over the surface of the banknote. And another piece of surface. Again, let's name it like little glass, scattered glass particles. It makes this reflection structure. Okay, now let's look at the bolts. Bigger is M3 bolt, and you can obviously see huge difference contrary to Leica, because chromatic aberration is very acceptable now. Violet is not much feelings of the frame, as well as green. The resolution is pretty high, only 4% less than Leica S6E. Okay, let's look at M2 bolt here. not much interesting parts. At least we see a huge amount of light scratches over the surface. A lot of dust too, definitely. And now we can even look for a while at the ruler surface, because some people suppose it's important to see how metal parts look through the microscope. You can easily see both resolution and chromatic aberration. Check with such devices, and this last thin blade of Swan Morton company. It's a blade for interchangeable blade for cutters. Don't know how to name them. Scalpel, we could say. And let's see on the cutting surface itself. It is used blade, so it has obvious used surface here, while upper part is still polished as it was initially. So you can see zone that got blunted during its work. Okay. Now let's see thin real resolution here. It's Intel processor. When I switch to 10x eyepiece maximum magnification, I will just see something very vaguely resembling details. To be frank, no details can be seen. So when I switch to 20x eyepiece, you might be notice the structures resolved here. Vertical structures easily resolved. All parts connected to the not connected. All parts on the left and right show us structures. But if I decrease digital magnification of the phone, might be on video you won't notice the structures that easily. And by the way, you can again see that when I have snap focus in the center, left and right parts of the frame are fuzzy, as it should. All goes as it should, but still we are resolving structure pretty easily. Okay, now let's get to something more familiar for you. That is the processor of Apple's A13. Here's a full frame of it in minimum magnification. And let's get to our usual suspects here. My 4K display, you'll see a lot of fine details, but still you can get full resolution here. Before I switch to 20x eyepiece now, you should notice all those fine details Microscope reveals, and those parts of processor are used by me as the usual suspects, the samples. So let us compare different microscopes. So I'm just moving slowly over parts I've shown previously on different microscopes. And after that, what have we got in here? I'm just trying to find things I've shown you previously. And again, if you look at just HD mode, you won't see real details. Microscope reveals. I can give you little magnification temporary with digital mode, but not that aesthetically nice picture you get. So better not magnify with digital magnification, and just try to use proper device for watching. Just return to initial position here. Let me increase for a while to let you see parts. Okay. And let's go to some other pieces of processor. Those are waiting here. Increase it a bit a while again. So if you look at only HD mode, you can see real resolution here. And here too, let me increase. Make a little zoom. Now I'm returning back. Okay, so we've looked at A13 processor, and now the only last thing that is left is to know what it is. Some might be sensor, because the sensor got a place with obviously grid structure, like it's a sensor of little camera type sensor. You have some logic, and you might say kind of memory here. Maybe it's mouse sensor, I don't know. And we can see, what else can we see? Nothing special, but let me increase for a while. Not much structure is resolved, while the sensor should be seen. Sensor structure should be seen on the edge, but you can get it resolved. Okay, and the last thing I suppose is to show you, I have shown you in previous videos, was some sensor. Again, I don't know pixel size for this sensor, but at least this microscope should resolve the structure. Let's try to see if structure resolved. Let me go to 20x eyepiece and check things now. We should have some, should see some structure. I can't look and can't recognize it on my screen, but there definitely should be seen some structure. I can't get it on this display of phone. Okay, so last part of this chip, just little nice structures. Okay, we've watched a bit over the stuff I prepared for you. Let's look last time on this stuff. Here was a blade, M3, M2 bolts, metal ruler, Intel I386 and Apple's A13 processor, some Apple iPhone might be 6 motherboard, and a banknote. And I used fiber optic light with strong LED, and I've used 2-speed focuser made by Nikon here. So it goes, this Nikon, let me show you how protected glasses is made here. I want to say how I replace protective glass here. So let's just show you. Bottom of this microscope. That should go today to customer. So if you look, you can see green reflection of the protective glass that I put here to replace its original one-layer protective glass. So this Nikon goes to be a very nice rival to the Leica S6E. Thank you for watching. I hope I will soon show you some more interesting in comparison. And I finally should show you Nikon smz-645 too. Okay, thank you for watching. Wish you all good luck. Bye bye.